Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Eddie Marcus again. I had said that I was going to cut out putting so many videos. The videos that I've been posting are relative to basic human rights for all people. And I kind of got to the point that every subject there was something that needed to be said. And so I got almost 700 videos out there now that answers questions for everybody that can think of one in one form or another. Still might be missing a few. I guess that's why I'm coming here tonight. And I just want to say, I've decided that based upon the 35 years of experience, what it has taught me is that I should get those people who are hurting the most, who are victims of the system. We're all victims, but who are victims the most? I hear people talking about a rising tide. You know that you heard that thing about what it does for all those boats, ships and stuff. But they didn't mention that every time the tide rises, there's an undertow that's going back out into the sea, and those at the bottom are being swept further and further on back into the sea. I thought that should be mentioned, but I do know one thing: if you do anything at all to lift the bottom up, everything rises. There's no doubt. See, that's the way the poor got this effect of being so dominant in things. If any effort was given to support the poor, those at the bottom. Now I know you say to support the poor means you who got yours got to give up something, but that isn't necessarily so. I mean, according to the standards for which you have devised that would allow you to ascertain so much of the good stuff while others are so poor, well, I guess you wouldn't. But the point of it is, if you do anything for the foundation to bring it up, everything on it rises. There's no question about that. This maybe is something that you could have considered a long time ago, but now that is not enough. I have seen how peace and prosperity can exist. I don't know if you have or not, but I have. I have seen each of you as individuals having your dreams come true, and you're playing a major part in it. Nobody's giving it to you. You're playing a part in it. And the part that you're playing, the role that you're playing in making your dream come true is exactly the role that you want to play. Now I see that. I see that for not just you, but I see it for you and you and you and everybody. But in order for this to happen, you got to want it to happen. In the past, if you wanted it, you haven't shown it. You've talked the talk, which wasn't much. But I saw you on the streets, the 99%. I saw you in the street, the Black Lives Matter. I saw you on the street in Ferguson. I saw you on the street in Chicago. I saw you on the street in Dallas. I saw you on the street everywhere. But let's translate that. I see you on the internet. I see you on Facebook. I see you on YouTube. I see you tweeting. All of this information. But that's not good enough. You got to come out of that now. It's time you put that stuff aside. We are all aware of what's going on. Now we must act. We must do something to change the direction of this. And I want you to know there's nothing that we can do to fix this thing. We have to start it over. We have to change it. For those of you who get fearful when you start talking about starting it over, it's not a big complicated matter. It's simple. It's one of the most simplest things. It's more simple than giving birth to a child. The truth of it is you see, I want you all to know this. I've said it 1,000 times, and perhaps this will be the last time. Nothing belongs to any of us. We brought nothing with us, not a single soul. Queens, popes, blacks, whites, rich or poor. We brought nothing with us. And when we leave in that same way. I know we come here and we say, but we'll build up and do something for our kids and make it better for them than it was for us. Why should you do that? You know why it wasn't better for you? And look what you did to make it better for you. And now you want to stand there. That's a foundation that's destined to fall. Somewhere down the line, it got to fall. There's no if and ands about it. You say, well, don't let it fall on my watch. I say, people who are being had, why are you letting it fall on your watch? I say that this, we got to change the system. And I'm going to, in order for us to do this in a way that doesn't frighten anybody, we got to get everybody involved. I want the poor to get together and let's strategize this thing. I want you, the poor, to talk, go out into your community, meet people, introduce yourself to people, talk to them about what we're trying to do, what we're doing. Invite them. to come to maybe meetings if we have them. And I don't mean to have too many meetings. Invite members to talk to their church members about it. Talk to their pastors about it. Let them know that God is trying to do something magnificent out here while they're sitting up there saving souls. Get them in every city, not just here in Woodbury or St. Paul or Minneapolis, but in every city throughout the state. The poor, organize yourselves. Go out to your communities. Identify yourself. Make yourself known. Meet people. Let people know who you are. Identify the problems that exist within that community. Identify all of them. Then go to your available resources. See what you can have fixed. Go to the local officials. See where you can have fit. And when you're doing this in every city, you will find out that each city is not satisfied with the resources that will satisfy what you're trying to do. But you at least know this. It's documented, and everybody knows it. You know it, politicians know it, and they know that you know it, and you know that they know it. So you take it to the next level. Every city now go to the state. And go to the state identifying the problems that you have identified. What the citizens say must be fixed. And you're going to the state to access whatever resources they might have to satisfy the needs of the people, because the people come first before anything. And you will find in every state that the resources are insufficient to meet these needs. But now every state knows this, and the citizens of every state know this. They know the problems are common, and they are going together to the federal government to demand that these requirements are met. And when you do so, you will find that under the current system, there's no way that they can be met. So what you know is that you have been supporting a system that's destined to fail, that's going nowhere. And you didn't even know it, but now you do. Everybody in the country, rich and poor, black and white, men and women, will know that the resources based upon this system is insufficient to meet the needs of the people. So all of this comes because the poor decided that we weren't going to take it anymore. That was time for it to stop. And now you see, we've all come together as a people. We've come together with a common interest. And what are those basic interests? That our dreams are met. And they're not great. They're just common. Food, clothing, shelter, education, health care, and a job, a career of our own choosing, whereby we will create the goods and services that we have identified. We will identify. We have identified them. We will create them from the resources that have been given to us, and none of us will have to live like paupers. None of us will have to be poor. None of us will have to be subject beyond friendship to anybody else. And we love it. Why? Because our dreams are met. This is the most simplest thing in the world. I'm asking you. This is a Saturday night. Now you're going to be in churches tomorrow. Many of you are going to be in churches. And I guarantee you, you're not going to talk about nothing like this. Even when you turn your television on and you see those mega churches that talk prosperity, they're not going to tell you that the congregation's need can be met. They're going to say today might be the day that God blesses you. I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, today should be the day that God blesses every last one of you. God is willing. It's you. You're the problem. But it's in love that I tell you that. I'm telling you that because God wants you to know. Stop trusting politicians lying to you. Stop trusting these institutions that's ripping you off. They are tearing up your city. They're creating crime. They're creating violence. They're turning husbands against wives. Wives and husbands can't stand each other. The churches are all against each other. Nobody's doing anything. And the one that's promoting this stuff, that's dividing us like this, is sitting up laughing, talking about how many billions of us they are going to kill, and you don't even believe it. Some of you haven't heard it, but those of you who have, you don't believe it. I know you don't believe it because you're not doing a darn thing about it. And I want you to know that if you stand up, God is not just only on your side now. God is on their side too. But what will rise to the top is this which is pure, is all of God. All of the ugliness that we see out there, those fruits of our seed. Ours mean everybody else that's not over there. It is our seeds that created that. God didn't create that. But he gave us what we desired, and what was over there that's causing all these problems, we desired it. But we were trained. You know, it's not that we just walked out mean and hateful. We were trained to be just what we are. And this that I'm trying to tell you right now is trying to shock you and wake you up. And you're not going to get this in a church. But I'm not trying to keep you out of the church. I just want you to know, when you listen to what's being said to you, understand what's being said. You do not have to accept what somebody say as being true. Listen to what they're saying. And if you are serious about it, then you take that inside of your heart. And if it fits, it fits. And if it doesn't, it doesn't. And you don't have to be ashamed of that. If it didn't fit, there's a reason why it didn't fit. Anybody got a question about it, ask them to fix it. If they can fix it, then you say thanks. If they can't, you say bye-bye. Well, I think I've said enough tonight. I guess I at least know I've done something. For summation, I would say this. The nation is not ready the way it's set up. But we the people are capable, because we're the children of the Almighty God. All of us human beings. Whether you say it or not, believe it or not, doesn't make any difference. I'm saying it for us. We are all creatures of the Creator, God. And that power that made us really wants us to be thrilled, because that power is thrilled at what